Bitcoin pumps to a new all-time high, over $109,000, and the next target seems to be $115,000. I'll share what we can expect next and what altcoins are going to do. And we have major altcoin news with a new XRP Futures ETF going live, building on the Avalanche blockchain, and Worldcoin raises over $100 million. And I may want to invest in the Worldcoin token. I'll give you the details. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as the thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, I'm sure many of you saw Bitcoin is on the move. At the time of recording, it is near $110,000. The price right now is at $109,704. So it hit a new all-time high, folks. This is exciting, and we are waiting for Bitcoin to continue that move. It looks like the next target may be 115, 116K. We'll have to see how things play out. As always, expect volatility. Bitcoin can always pull back to test support levels before going higher. From a macro perspective, I've been beating the drum all through the tariff crash and much more. We are still in a bull market because the data shows us we're still in a bull market. So for the naysayers and the people who were saying we're in a bear market, notice how they've disappeared. They've gone quiet, right? Because they were not sharing data with you. They were not sharing facts with you. They're just sharing sentiment. This is where you have to learn to read the charts and the data, the on-chain information and much more to form a thesis as to what may come next. So on the daily chart, Bitcoin looks good. It is in the overbought zone, but it's not in the heated overbought zone. You may say, what the hell are you talking about, Tony? Well, if you look at the rally, the RSI for the rally in Q4, it went into that zone where it started showing the green signals. Right now, it's not showing the green signals. So there's still room for this RSI to overshoot, and then we see a pullback. It doesn't mean that the bull market will be over. It just means this rally will cool off. And what we've seen historically, Bitcoin leads the market, and then there's rotation of liquidity. It will start hitting the altcoins once Bitcoin gets overbought, and you'll see Bitcoin cool down, consolidate, pull back, and then ETH is going to pump. XRP, Solana, rinse and repeat. We've seen this time and time again. I hope you're recognizing the patterns. I hope what I've been conveying for years and even over the past 6 months has been helpful, because we've been looking a lot at the data and the whales keep accumulating. I've been sharing data from Sentiment with you all, and I've been telling you on the weekly chart, it looks bullish. Because on the higher time frame of the weekly, you see the weekly RSI has broken out. It hasn't hit the overbought area as yet, and the MACD flipped bullish. That was the key indicator I kept beating the drum on, the MACD, right? It flipped green, and it shows the bulls are in control. So this is very good. Even if you don't hold Bitcoin, you know this is beneficial for the altcoins. Bitcoin is the rising tide that lifts all boats. And with Bitcoin hitting its new all-time high, it surpassed Amazon as the 5th largest asset, hitting $2.16 trillion market cap. And when you look at the Bitcoin dominance, we've been monitoring it for weeks now because it was on a downtrend, but then it did a V-shaped recovery or just flipped the opposite direction, and it is pumping now. So Bitcoin is stealing the show, stealing the liquidity. And then, as I said earlier, once it hits its overbought zone, then the rotation of liquidity will happen to the altcoins. Folks, I hope you are grasping this, because this is how the market works for crypto. It's very important to understand these things. You don't have to be an expert, but you have to understand the principles. It will help you to navigate the market. And then when you look at USDT dominance, it continues to break down. So this is looking at Tether dominance, where the liquidity moves into the Bitcoin and altcoins, right? So essentially, when Bitcoin and crypto are stagnant or on the downtrend, you see Tether dominance rise. Then the liquidity goes into the market, and then the assets start to pump, Bitcoin and altcoins. And then when profit taking takes place, then US Tether dominance starts to rise again. Cyclical patterns here. Whales and market makers are doing this, and I want you guys to recognize it. I want you to understand the market so you can make money. That's what we're here for, to take advantage of this new asset class that is on the rise, and early adopters like us have the opportunity to make incredible returns, even life-changing money. I'm not saying everybody's going to make life-changing money, but you can at least make some incredible returns because Bitcoin and crypto, as Paul Tudor Jones said, are the fastest horse in the race. Talking about the asset race, it is faster than the NASDAQ and the stock market and real estate and gold and so forth, right? The upside is incredible because you have a truly hard cap asset like Bitcoin. And look, many altcoins also are hard cap, but what's important is they are truly globally distributed because not everyone can access the stock market, but anyone with a smartphone and internet connection can access Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum. They can buy a fraction of it. So you have on-ramps globally, a lot of liquidity coming to a fixed supply asset, and that creates incredible supply and demand economics. So I hope you understand what is at play here and why it's so important. The other factor I've been telling you all about is that the DXY, the dollar currency index, continues to show weakness. It is currently dropping. It is below 100. So what have we seen historically is that when the DXY is dropping, at-risk assets are moving the opposite direction. So there's an inverse correlation. So when the DXY is pumping, risk assets are not, right? There was an outlier period when Trump won the election because we saw the dollar, we saw everything was pumping at the same time. But when you look at the whole chart historically, that is definitely an outlier. But now it's starting to even out as things are getting back to a normal environment, so to speak. I think the election and Trump and all that was a big factor that created a kind of unique environment for this outlier moment to happen. So all the factors are there. Bull market, folks, bull market. And as I've been telling you, in conjunction with the DXY dropping, we got global M2, global liquidity on the rise. And Raoul Pal, the folks at Global Macro Investor, I give them credit for doing this great work. It has been spot on, and they're not the only ones doing it, but they were certainly ahead of the curve in providing this type of data. And it's what we've been talking about. All assets are correlated to global liquidity, whether it be real estate, precious metals, crypto, to stock market. Now, on the micro, as you step away from the macro of all assets move with global liquidity, crypto, as I've been saying, is the fastest horse in the race, and it outperforms those other assets. So there are nuances when you go into each asset class, of course. But from the macro, you just zoom out, you look at it on the yearly, you just see they're all moving with global liquidity as central banks and governments around the world debase currency. They keep printing, they increase the money supply. It's what's been going on. Many of us didn't understand this years ago, but I'm so thankful for guys like Raoul and who shared this insightful information, and it's playing out perfectly here. Now, as always, eventually there will be some deviations and things are not going to go in line as usual, but at this moment in the bull market periods, they will move together. So it's playing out beautifully here. All the factors I'm just sharing with you. And as I've been saying, when you look at the on-chain data with sentiment, Bitcoin whales, wallets of 10 or more continue to increase their accumulation. They're not exiting the market. There will be a point they will exit the market, and that's when we want to exit the market as well. That's why you should be subscribed to this podcast, notifications on, subscribe to the newsletter because I share that data in there. Use the data so we can make educated, informed decisions. Now, as Bitcoin has been pumping, we're seeing shorts are getting liquidated. Just today, we had over 50 million in shorts liquidated. I don't know why these guys are trying to short the market at this point. There will be points to short the market, but it's not a smart thing to do right now. And Bitcoin continues to get a lot of bullish news. Yesterday, we talked about BlackRock just accumulating nonstop, and the amount of Bitcoin they've bought on behalf of their clients, of course, is over 636,000 Bitcoin. And today, another strategic Bitcoin reserve bill made progress. So Texas, they got it through the House. Now it has to go to the Senate, and then it will eventually go to the governor. They will become the third state to get this done, following New Hampshire and Arizona. So you're seeing global adoption of Bitcoin. Obviously, here in the United States, we have these states doing it, but then on the federal level, we got the strategic Bitcoin reserve set up with Trump, using the Bitcoin they already hold to set that up, and then looking for revenue neutral ways to buy Bitcoin. So how can you be bearish at this point? Once again, not just using news and narratives, but using the data in conjunction with the news to see that we're headed to higher heights here. And reminder, have a cash out plan. Know what price points you're taking profits at. That's important so you don't get caught off guard and you walk away from the bull market with profits. Now, my strategy, just so you guys know, come this rally, it's going to top out maybe in July because I think the timeline got pushed back. The sell in May, go away timeline got pushed back because of the tariff stuff. So even the stock market and everything is starting to V-shaped recovery now, but there will be a local top, I believe. And then the bull market could potentially now, because I don't know for sure. I don't have a crystal ball, but it could continue later into the year. But I will be taking profits at this point to make sure that I secure some money out of this bull market. I'm not selling all my coins, but that's where I will continue to update you all on what I'm doing. So just make sure you have your plan in place. Folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Trezor. They make beautiful hardware wallets that makes it easy for you to safely store your crypto. They've been at it since 2013. They were the creators of the hardware wallets and the seed phrase and all that setup, guys. So ahead of other companies. And I'm a user of the Trezor Safe 5. It's a great device, easy to use. And Trezor supports a variety of coins: Bitcoin, XRP, Solana, Ethereum, you name it. They even support new tokens like BlackRock's BUIDL. They have a software called Trezor Suite that allows you to easily manage your coins on the device. And their hardware wallets are open source. And they also have a hand-holding service. So if you buy the device, you can subscribe to a service where you can talk to a Trezor rep and they'll walk you through the process of setting it all up to make it easy for you. And if you would like to get a device from them, you can use the code ThinkingCrypto, all one word, to get 5% off. So check them out, guys. They're a leader in the space. And once again, I'm a user of the device. So if you'd like to check it out, visit the link in the description. Folks, as we're continuing to record here, Bitcoin has cracked $110,000. So it's at $110,161 right now. You're getting this as I'm recording it. I'll circle back to see where the price is going. I'm getting notifications on my phone and everything. But look, folks, we got news about a new XRP Futures ETF going live tomorrow. So Volatility Shares is launching the first ever XRP Futures ETF tomorrow, ticker XRPL. And yes, there is a 2x XRP already on the market. This is the first 1x, and it has $120 million AUM and trades $35 million a day. Good signal that there will be demand for this one. So yesterday we talked about the statistics from the CME futures, XRP futures going live, in that it had more volume than Solana. And that's a good sign on the CME because it's institutional demand. They want to trade XRP, whether it be spot or futures. And I know futures are used to short the market. I know. Okay, you don't have to remind me in the comment section. But what's the important factor here is when you have players being able to play both sides of the markets, just like they do for Bitcoin, it allows more liquidity to come in. It allows the asset to go have more upside. And yes, there will be downside. But if you allow both sides to play, that's very good. Think about futures markets that are set up for other assets, right? And the most important factor, this is what's needed for the spot ETF approval. This will lead to the spot ETF approval, which will be very bullish for XRP. Look at what it did for Bitcoin. And I believe ETH is going to perform better once they add staking to the ETF. So good, all good stuff here. Despite, I know some of you are going to say, but they're going to short us. They're going to short. Yes, that's how markets work, right? You can't have one without the other. And look, if you become educated enough, can short it at certain times. I'm not saying you short it now, but when the top comes in and it's bear market time, you can make money on the downside. These are things to think about and to learn about as well. Now, Avalanche, great blockchain, has the token AVAX. I'm an AVAX token holder. I don't have a huge bag or anything like that, but I'm bullish on this project. I believe it has a lot of potential. They're getting a lot of adoption. Look at this. Just announced, Vaneck is launching Purpose Built, a dedicated fund to back real-world applications on Avalanche. This is a major signal of institutional conviction in Avalanche and broader move to bring GDP on-chain. Couple things here. Big adoption for Avalanche. Number two, tokenization continues to be a huge use case, and different blockchains are getting this adoption. So huge news, folks. We continue to see mass adoption here. So Vaneck is one of the world's leading asset managers with over $116 billion of assets under management and a long history of identifying frontier opportunities With purpose built, they're turning their focus to founders building real world businesses on Avalanche. Huge adoption news. This is what you want to see when you're investing in a token. And I'm not telling you to go buy AVAX. I'm just saying this is a factor you look at when you're looking to invest in tokens. Now look at this, Worldcoin. Many of you know I'm not really a big fan of Worldcoin because, the dystopian setup of scanning your retina and I don't know what Worldcoin's doing with the data. But if I want to trade Worldcoin, this news kind of makes me bullish. Sam Altman's World raises $135 million in token sale to A16Z and Bain Capital Crypto. What have I said? Watch what the VCs are doing because if they're putting a lot of liquidity behind the token, it could move. So I'm going to look a little bit deeper into Worldcoin. It might be too late to enter Worldcoin. I don't know. I have to look at the charts, but I'm just being transparent with you guys and honest with you, right? What I look at and things that I see coming because I've seen coins that are backed by VCs do well. And then you have two major venture capital firms, A16Z and Bain, putting over 100 million into this token. So WLD, the token, went up by 14% on the news. So obviously, take this news in conjunction with other factors if you're looking to invest in Worldcoin. But I'm not really a believer, so that might stop me from doing it. But there could be an opportunity to make money here, is what I'm saying. So just understand where I'm coming from, my perspective. There's the money making aspect. There's also how I feel about the project. Now, I've often told you guys don't invest with your emotions. So I'm not being a hypocrite here. I'm just giving you both sides of the token. And that's why I'm going to look at potentially investing in this. We'll see. I'll let you know if I do. Now, guys, the Genius Act, the great stablecoin bill in the Senate, continues to make progress. The other day, we got the major vote to have it moved to the floor to be discussed and have amendments done. Well, today was another vote that took place to have it move forward the second phase. I know it seems ridiculous that we have all these phases, but these wins are important. Why, you may ask? You have Elizabeth Warren really angry right now, looking to block this, looking to have her Democrat colleagues walk out and not vote and all that. But the good thing here is that more Democrats keep turning their backs on Elizabeth Warren. As I've been saying for years, she's on the losing side of history, but she's not doing this for fun. This old grandma didn't just wake up and said, "Oh, I hate crypto," or blah, 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 right? No, she's being lobbied by Jamie Dimon and the banks. That is why she's not even worried about other issues that affect Americans. And she's so adamant about crypto. Why would this old lady be so against crypto? Why is it her life's mission all of a sudden? She's getting that money, baby. You guys know how it works. So 3 senators flip votes to yes on the Genius Act, widening cloture vote margin to 69 to 31. And it includes 2 Democrats. So Senator Warnock, a Democrat out of Georgia, Senator Moran, Republican out of Kansas, flipped their votes from a no to yes. And Senator Kelly, Democrat out of Arizona, votes yes after not voting. Elizabeth Warren is not having a great week. She's mad as hell right now. All right, moving ahead, guys. French company, the Blockchain Group, raises $8.6 million to buy more Bitcoin. So this is the MicroStrategy Michael Saylor playbook. A lot of companies are doing this globally, Japan, France, and you name it. This is one of the reasons why Bitcoin is going to rise in value significantly, because Bitcoin has become this ultimate hedge against currency debasement. It is digital gold, and the facts are here, folks. So it doesn't matter if you hate Bitcoin, you don't own Bitcoin. I'm about the facts, and we are seeing real world adoption. Now, I am concerned with some of these companies that take it to excess levels. Like they literally raise hundreds of millions, even billions, like Michael Saylor. I'm worried about that amount of leverage, and it may blow up or it may not. I hope it doesn't. I'm just being honest and transparent. We've seen in the TradFi markets what excessive leverage can do. So watch out for this. But at this point, it's the train we want to ride to the top and take profits. I'm going to hammer that home again. Have your profit taking plan so that you are not left holding the bag as we head into the bear market. Now, Congressman Tom Emmer and Representative Richie Torres, two champions of crypto. Richie Torres, a Democrat, Tom Emmer, of course, Republican. I've had him on the podcast just recently and many times over the years. He said today, Representative Richie Torres and I introduced the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act to protect blockchain developers and service providers that never custody consumer funds from unjust government prosecution. So this is great. I think we need all these guardrails in place. And you know, Tom Emmer and Richie Torres are champions of crypto. You remember Richie Torres, he really got Gary Gensler in those hearings using these smart analogies and examples. And Gary's like, right? He couldn't process it. He couldn't answer it because, you know, Gary was a scumbag lying and following Elizabeth Warren. But anyway, great to see things like this are being put out there to address different aspects of the crypto market. So very bullish stuff, folks. Anyway, that's the news, folks. Let's look at Bitcoin really quick before I let you go. So we went over 110,000 right now. Bitcoin is still chopping, so it dropped below 110. So just expect volatility. That's par for the course. But, you know, Bitcoin has those moments where it just, boom, massive green candles on the day and it just goes bonkers. So just be prepared for that if you're taking profits. And, you know, once again, rotational liquidity. Bitcoin will become overbought, and then ETH, XRP, Solana, and the other parts of the market are going to rally. So, folks, let me know what you think, how high you think Bitcoin may be going, and are you excited? And a great way you can support me in the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. Also, check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital. And check out my course at My Crypto Course. Folks, you want to expand your knowledge about the crypto market. You want to learn more. This is the course for you. And it's comprehensive. It touches on every aspect of the market. And best of all, it offers something no other course offers, and that is expert commentary. You will hear from founders, CEOs, institutional investors. It's packed with a lot of value, videos, text write-ups, downloadable materials, links to resources, and much more. You pay a one-time fee. You get lifetime access. You can share that access with your friends and family. Go at your own pace. So if you'd like to learn more, go to mycryptocourse.com. Thank you all for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.